Hi, I'm Keith Taylor, and this is my story. Back in 2000, I used to weigh 430 pounds. As of today, I've lost 230 pounds. Growing up, I was always a big kid. Through high school, through college. I was athletic though, played football, but I remember my assistant principal coming up to me and saying, Keith, you need to be careful because you've got the kind of frame that after you stop being so active, you could put on a bunch of weight. And I thought to myself, yeah, okay, whatever. Well, it happened. In 1993, I graduated from college, and from that point up to 2000, I gained a whole bunch of weight, and like I said, went up to 430 pounds. But gaining all that weight really put me in probably the darkest place of my life. Even though all my friends and family, thought that on the outside I was this happy-go-lucky guy who liked his food, was the big teddy bear and the life of the party kind of. Inside I was tormented. I can remember sitting at my couch in the middle of the night, watching infomercials about the newest thing and how to lose weight, and thinking to myself, if I could just work for me, if I could just be 300 pounds again. And when I think about it, it's kind of sad that I was wishing to be 300 pounds again. But when you're 430 pounds, that's a big difference. And I can remember thinking I would be healthier, I would be happier, and I'd probably have a lot more fun in my life, since being that big wasn't very much fun. In fact, I was depressed. It was depressing. But you know what the final straw was? The thing that happened that made me realize I have to make a change? It was I looked at my ankles one day, and they were all black and blue, and I even had those little red pressure points all on the top of my feet from the massive amount of weight I was carrying around all day. And I said to myself, you know what, Keith? This is it. You've got to make a change. You're going to die a young man if you keep this up. So I made a decision to go to my doctor to talk to him about weight loss surgery. I was actually contemplating weight loss surgery. So I went there, and he said something to me that I will always be beholden to him for. He said, Keith, listen, you don't need weight loss surgery. You're a young man. You can do this. So he said, here's the thing. The average male, he burns about 10 calories a pound per day to maintain their weight. He said it's not exact, but it's a good average to go by. He said, so if you're 430 pounds, it means you're taking in about 4,300 calories a day just to maintain your weight. He said if you cut that in half, start having proper nutrition, and start exercising, you will lose weight. You have to. And when he said you have to, he didn't mean you have to do it or you're going to die soon. What he meant was you have to lose weight. It's science. It's physics. If your body needs this much to maintain itself, and you give it this much and you exercise, it will happen. And that was so powerful for me. You know why it was powerful? Because I thought to myself, no excuses, Keith. No excuses. He says it'll happen. It has to happen, and it will. So I started. That day I made a decision. I'm going to do this. So I started meal planning. Of those 2,000 calories a day I had, I made sure that those were good, nutritious calories I was consuming. And I started exercising, and the weight came off. Throughout this journey, there's just been one thing that bugged me. Everybody gave me accolades, and everybody talked about how great you're doing, Keith, and it takes a special person to do this, and not many people could do this. And you know what? They're right. It does take a special person to do this. But this is where one of my core beliefs comes in when it comes to this whole process. They would often sometimes mention that, this person's kind of lazy, or that person is unmotivated. They probably couldn't do what you've done. And I disagree with that. I believe at my core that every single person, no matter how much weight they have to lose, every single person can and will lose weight if they have three things. Number one is the right information. Number two is the right tool in their tool belt to help them. And number three is just maybe a little bit of inspiration. This is where MyNutriGrade.com comes in. It is that tool that you need. It's that tool I wish I would have had back in 2000 when I began this journey. Back when I had to put pen to paper and write down everything that I ate. Looking at ingredient labels and journaling everything. It would have been so much easier if I would have had a system like this. MyNutriGrade.com provides an online meal planning system that actually knows the nutritional value of almost any food you would enter into it. It then gives you a report card with a letter grade letting you know the nutritional value of that meal plan. It can even spot deficiencies in your meal plan and suggest foods that would help improve those letter grades. To watch a quick video to see how the system works, click on the How It Works tab below.